What's up, YouTube? So if you've only been following my gameplay in Apex for like the last couple of months, you'd probably assume that I am a Revenant main. That is kind of the case now, but it hasn't always been the case. And before you go, oh my god, were you once a sweaty Wraith main? I kind of did have a stint with Wraith, but no. My original tune of choice was Bangalore. The reason was, back in the day you basically couldn't pick Wraith because everyone wanted to be Wraith and I played a lot of pubs. So I decided I'd play another character who I could get all the time, which was Bangalore. To say that I was a Bangalore fan is an understatement, considering in fact I currently have this Funko Pop on my desk right now, staring at me, asking me why I'm playing Revenant. I really enjoyed Bangalore until I didn't. She's been basically forgotten by the devs. So we're going to see some discussion here first about the different skins available for Bangalore to show how much the devs hate her. Then I'm going to show you some gameplay which highlights some of the goods of Bangalore, but then, you know, I'll probably call out some of the points where I really wish I was Revenant in that moment. Anyway, with no further ado, let's actually look at her skins. So Bangalore's skins, we'll start with her original, which was actually kind of good. I didn't mind it at all. The leather wraps on the legs are kind of cool. I really like the Muay Thai style wrist wrappings and the combat gloves. Pretty cool. All these like pads, everything works together. Her smoke launcher is kind of cool, although you get a little sick of the rattling sound time to time. And I even like her faux hawk, and just her overall character model just looked like a badass. But her legendaries were a huge letdown. So if you look at the Officer Williams one, it's really not that big of a change from her base one, other than you get some cool Oakleys. But I mean, really, this is just not a good skin. And even the recolors of this one, in my opinion, not that great. I mean, you look at the Enforcer, it's, I guess, more blue. I don't like this at all. And Apex Overdrive, just so bulky and flashy, it just does not go with the character at all. This face mask can be kind of cool, I guess, maybe with a different overall setup, but it just ends up making her look like she's a kid in a snowsuit. Spacewalker, no better. Just bulky, not really well fitted, and I hate the color combination. Oh god, this orange, you know, kind of weird pattern, and then the orange leather, and and then all this white, which just makes it that more of an eyesore. And then you got the blue visor with a bunch of white and orange parts. The whole thing is just a big clashing mess as far as I'm considering. However, the reason I'm actually playing Bangalore this week is her recolor, which is one of the best recolors in the entire game, is finally back in the store. You need to get this if you ever think of playing Bangalore, because damn, look at the difference between that. There is the Full Metal Jacket. There is Spacewalker. Ugh. Gross. The hotness. So, why does this one work so much better than the others? Okay, first off, it's not white. It's like this tungsten blue and then like gray. So, it does, even though it's the same actual mesh, it doesn't look as bulky. The gold elements work so well with everything else. These like cobalt blue or tungsten blue metal patches go in with everything else so well. The blue visor now works with all the blue elements. The back is like super cool with all this like brass and gold trim. It's just a really cool outfit. And actually, one thing you'll notice too, if you zoom in, her hair is even kind of a little bit bluish as well. So everything about this model just looks amazing to me. So it kind of got me nostalgic, and yeah, I went back and played Bangalore again. And it's only going to be for a nostalgia trip, because I'm sorry Funko Pop's sitting on my desk, but I am not going back to maining Bangalore anytime soon. Yeah, so unfortunately for this game, it was just me and a Bloodhound. It was that typical Apex bug where you, for whatever reason, can't get a full team. I don't know why it does that. I tried to do the old slow yourself down to speed up and get the ground. I don't think it works there. So we were being challenged, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, hey, I'm Bangalore. So the quick escape there, really good. I still think it's like one of the best passives in the game. And yeah, your ability to kind of zig and zag in fights is great with Bangalore. So my aim is no better with Bangalore than anyone else. But I do like the quicker strafe you get. We were doing okay here, but I was just running low on ammo. And see, I have the smoke there, and what happens? It gets scanned by a bloodhound. So that's like a big problem with Bangalore. Ever since Bloodhound has gotten better, and there's so many Bloodhounds, the smoke loses a lot of value, and actually, you can't see through your smoke, and a Bloodhound does, which is like a huge detriment, because now all of a sudden you're dealing with somebody who can hit you, and you can't even see them, and you did it to yourself. So for this one, I'm dropping in one of my favorite places, which is Market. And actually, Market is a good example of a place where Bangalore is not necessarily the best character either. Closed spaces are not super good for the smoke. In that case, I would much rather have a Revenant. Like, there I smoked in front of the door, but if I had Revenant, I would drop a Silence Orb. Nobody's going to want to walk through that. Nobody cares about going through your smoke, for the most part. Strange enough, there's actually another Bangalore here. So now, I can't really see what the heck's going on because of my own smoke. When I did it kind of made sense. So now I have one member of my team down, a second one goes down, and I'm thinking, okay, I gotta do a revive here. And, okay, so I'm gonna smoke and let the smoke spread. So strategically, it's a good idea. But then, everyone can hear what I'm doing. The second I go to revive, it's like, oh, somebody's reviving here, and they start pushing in. So the smoke is kind of doing its job, but they can still kind of track me, and now I'm pushed, and I want to drop the smoke, but it's too late. A Silence Orb there, it hits those guys, they don't have any abilities, they're slowed, it does some damage to them. I mean, the smoke grenade does as well, but, you know, maybe I would have a better chance if I wasn't a Bangalore there.
Hey, I'm the jump master. Ready up.
Okay, so on to the next game.
Gonna check it out over
Go
there.
for like a reasonably hot drop here. This video, you'll actually see some pretty decent usage of Bangalore and her abilities. And you can see that there's definitely a team with us, and I was aware of this. So I knew part of my team was going to go short side, I wanted to go far side, take a look back. Couldn't see exactly where that other team was, which was dangerous. But I actually have a pretty good landing here as I land on a Mastiff. You can pretty much choose anything early in the fight. You want a Mastiff. So I picked up a bunch of attachments I didn't need. I haven't really used anything Bangalore related yet. I actually think it takes a little while for this one to get going because it takes a while for me to find people. So in the early game, I mean, Bangalore plays just like about everybody else except maybe like a Loba who has an advantage in looting. Yeah, so right here, I think everything was kind of okay, and then one of my teammates called out that they were spotted, and then I had to engage. Fortunately, I had a chance to get white armor. Okay, so there's the enemy ping. Grab my armor, and I'm on my way. I have to tuck away my gun, because sometimes I'm a noob. I really should have. I guess I didn't really know how close the enemies were. So we're completely into it at this point. I got my Mastiff out. Potentially could have smoked here if I wanted to, but so we got one down already, which is good. So I can hear people. I actually managed to figure out they were on the left here somewhere, which is good. And then on the right, and then there's an enemy Bangalore. Really bad movement, so I got lucky there. Full kill her, and then I hear more shooting. So I got my double time here. This was huge. Like I was like, wow, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, wrapping around that fast is huge. And there's 2 shots with the Mastiff, and that one's done. And then if you are going to play Bangalore, you need to do this. Every single time your teammates are trying to revive, smoke them. It's huge. Because if anyone else wants to come in and take a peek, or you have a sniper looking at you from a range away, it's huge to be able to like, block that line of sight. So at this point we're sitting pretty. We wiped out a team. Well, I have really good gear. Everyone else is doing okay too because they got blues. And I think shortly after this I noticed that the enemy team was crafting, which you really want your team to get on it. That's why I was trying to ping and be like, hey guys, they're crafting. Yeah, and I actually said they're crafting. You should definitely let your teammates know that the enemy's crafting, because they literally don't have a clue, and you'll see what happens here to this guy standing by the crafting station. So I line him up, 52, 34, 34, all the way down the flesh.
He's broke.
And this was looking really good until it wasn't. So like we had this team pretty much on the rocks. There was the one guy who was at the crafting table. They all kind of headed to the north. Everything was looking good until I started taking shots from behind. So that means there was another team there. Although strangely enough, it didn't call out another team. It was either another team or one of their members got behind us somehow. So there's a good example of how Bangalore can be handy. I threw a smoke screen between me and them, so there's no chance that they're going to get an easy shot on me. And then I know I can join the rest of my team. Still trying to track the guy I broke. So now my team's down, and I know we could get pushed from the other direction, so I dropped the airstrike just to deter anybody, which lets me isolate this guy. I swear that first shot should have hit, but anyway. That guy goes down in like 4 shots. And then I got the sweaty Wraith on me as well. I wasted some shots on the down one. Not sure how I missed that one or that one, but it is what it is. And then somebody comes in behind me. So after this little trip down memory lane, do I think Bangalore is a bad tune? No, and she never has been. The problem with Bangalore is she's just good. But there are great tunes. At any given time, someone gets a buff, or someone enters the game, the dynamics shift. There's something about a character that makes them just the right character at that time. And that is never Bangalore. Bangalore is always good. And it's like the devs give themselves a free pass with Bangalore because nobody really says Bangalore is bad. Like if you ask most people, they'll say she's a pretty good character. But like, do you want the pretty good character, or do you want the great character? Do you want Bangalore, who's got, you know, some pretty good stuff? Or do you want Wraith, who's like overpowered? Or Jibby, who's like incredibly useful? Or Lifeline, who can change the dynamics of a fight at a moment's notice? Or do you want the one with the smoke grenades that are easily countered by Bloodhound? So in the end, I think Bangalore is good, but she's not Revenant. And she's not Lifeline, or Jibby, or Wraith. Anyway, what I'm saying is, Bangalore is a good character, and in a way I kind of miss her. And I'm really glad she finally got a decent skin that's available to everyone with Full Metal Jacket. And who knows, maybe someday in the future she'll get a buff and she'll be relevant again, and I'll at least kind of have an idea how to play her. But anyway, that's pretty much going to be me saying goodbye to Bangalore for a while. Who knows, maybe we'll meet again in the future. Anyway, if you stuck around this long, thanks a lot for listening to me ramble about the good old days with Bangalore. And to anyone who has Bangalore and who has the Spacewalker skin, get Full Metal Jacket ASAP. It is the best Bangalore skin you can get. This is Grivog Gaming, and this is me thanking you for watching. Thanks. Did you like this video? Because I have other videos. Here are some of them on the screen. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button. If you hated what you saw, hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more stuff like this, subscribe. You can also comment below if you think I'm terrible at games. And you can also comment below if you think I'm great at games. I appreciate your lies.